Alright, so this is the Yadkin River, and I just stopped in here, because the water's low. Just wanted to look around, but right over there where that guy's putting that boat in, when I got here, the sheriff's department was pulling a car out. It was like a newer model Dodge Charger. I'm guessing the water level got low enough somebody saw it there near the bank, but they were pulling it out on a flatbed, but there were a lot of cops and everybody out there and investigators, so I wasn't going to sit there and film it. I figured they didn't want me nosing around their business. So, but anyway, so I just thought I'd see how much of the shoreline was exposed over here, but it's still pretty deep on this side. I wish I could get over on the shore over there, but even if I could, it just rained all night last night, so I'd probably sink down to my knees in mud. But it'd be interesting to get over there and look around, because there was a Civil War battle fought right in this pretty much right in this spot. Confederates were lobbing cannonballs over on that side where the Union Army was advancing through Salisbury. So it would be interesting to get over there, but not gonna happen today. So anyway, I'm gonna head on toward the cabin and look around on the shore. Look for some arrowheads and stuff if I don't break my neck falling over these rocks before I get there. Anyway, I'll see y'all when I get there, I guess. Or you'll see me when I get there. How about that? But anyway, if the car is still up there in the lot on that rollback, maybe I'll snap a pic of it. But I'm not wearing the proper shoes to be doing this right now, so anyway, I'll catch you on a bit. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, I was hoping I could do some looking around out here too, but along the what would be the banks of the original river before they started damming everything, but especially up in those trees. But it's just like a big muddy bog now, all that rain we had. If I'd come out here yesterday or the day before, probably wouldn't have been as bad, but you can see a couple people tried to go out there and said nope, came right back. So anyway, head on out of here and head to the cabin. Well, I just pulled up and there's a ton of ducks, and I don't know, it's not going to focus through them trees, but you can see all those seagulls back in there flying around. If you look through my windshield, there's a whole bunch of them out there on the lake. That's crazy. I mean, they're all back in there. See the little ducks in there? That's cool. Water looks a little higher today. Might have had a little bit more rain here last night. Alright, well, sitting in the truck, I thought the water looked a little bit higher than it normally is, but I think it actually might be just a hair lower. You can see this kind of ridge run along here with all the leaves. Runs all the way up there, so I think the water has dropped about another probably only a couple inches in depth, but it's pulled back from the bank about another 1.5 feet. But then again, this could have been from the rain we had last night, and it may have come up this way and then they drained it back down to where it was. Not 100% sure, but it does look a little bit lower on that point right there from when we were out here the other day. But I tried going to the spot that we started out at in the last video, and apparently you can't get in there to that area without a boat if it's unless it's certain parts of the week, because it's actually on a little trail system and stuff around there. And that's how we got in there. Go through the parking area, and then we took some of the little hiking trails and then got down onto the shore, and that's where we were over there. I'd never been over there before, but I didn't realize they're only open on the weekends. So that kind of sucks, because that's a whole new area I've never been to before. But all this stuff here, I haven't seen this shoreline in 20 plus years. Well, yeah, about 21 years. It was around 2000 last time it was this low, or lower. It was actually way lower, but anyway, I'm gonna try not to make this a super long video, so I'll just cut this on if we find anything else interesting. But I'm gonna try and go up there around the backside all the way around that island, and then go down around the point around the shore and see what I can find down there. But like I say, all the rocks are this kind of stuff, just super thin. Everything kind of looks almost worked. It's very hard to find something. Hopefully that rain will have washed off anything, especially if it's rhyolite and it's been underwater for the past 20 plus years since it's been exposed. It'll still be dark and it should pop out. But if it's been sitting exposed to sunlight, it's going to be this exact same color. Yeah, this is lower, because I was walking on this last video and I was in the water and I was slipping about to bust my ass. So yeah, it has dropped some more. See, I mean, stuff like that. See, it almost looks like it's got, like it's bifaced. Like I say, we're probably just gonna find broken pieces. I doubt we'll find the whole point. But you never know. We could get lucky. That Guilford I found was pretty complete. But basically just gonna have to treat this like hunting for shark teeth. Just gonna have to kind of walk along and generally scan with my eyes and hope something pops out. Because I mean, I could spend all day just sitting here doing this, and I wouldn't go but 10 feet. So if I got to cover some ground, I need to start scanning. And I'm going to try and come out here tomorrow with my dad, meet him out here, and we're going to look around some more. So this may end up being 2 days in one video. So if he suddenly appears, you'll know that's what it was. But if I find some good stuff, I'll go ahead and put it together and put it out. But anyway, I guess I'll see if I find anything. Give y'all a nice look at the lake here. All those birds have moved out there. Alright, aside from a couple of bottles, I just found a really beautiful piece of petrified wood. You can almost see the end grain running through that. It's probably the nicest piece of petrified wood I've ever found. Yeah, you can kind of see the swirly grains in there. And then I think this is another piece of it. It was not far from it. I think this is a piece of bark that's petrified. I'm not sure, but it kind of has that same look. It's just got so much green algae on it, it's hard to say, but this one cleaned up pretty good. That'll look really good when I get home and scrub it up, but I found it right over here. This is the island. So normally this is underwater, and right about there is where I found it, and that's where I found that Guilford point about 7-8 years ago. So I'm looking around. I mean, if all I find is petrified wood, that's good enough for me. I mean, it's still a relic from the past. It's still basically a fossil. You know, we got a lot of clams out here and these little periwinkle deals, and then the big clams. Well, I also, right over there, found a couple really old clam shells, the big ones, white, fossilized, almost like you'd find at the beach. So I haven't seen any. They're basically that type of clam shell, but really huge, like about hand size. Found two of them over there. One of them was crushed, but the only big clams out here now are the ones like on our last video that we showed y'all. So the big beach type clams aren't around here anymore that I'm aware of. At least I haven't seen anything that large. This is what we've got now. This type. The ones I'm talking about are the really round ones, like that little one beside it. Definitely out of place, and is definitely fossilized. So it probably come out of the same little spot right here and washed over that way. But anyway, I'll get these in my bag, dry my hand off because my hand's freezing now. And I think I'm gonna try and make it over that way, get over there on that side of the coast. I may save going around the island here for tomorrow, or I may save that for tomorrow. I'm not sure. But anyway, that's really cool. I hope y'all can make that out. I can't really see the viewfinder that well. All right, I decided to come on around the island, and just to illustrate how out of place those round rocks were that I found on the last video when I was down here earlier this week. They were like a quartzite material, and this is the kind of stuff we generally have for big rocks around here. And as you can see, it's not very strong. It's basically just compacted mud, and it doesn't take much to break this stuff. So I mean, it's, you know, there goes a piece flying off of it right there. But that's why those rocks were so super out of place. And I thought about what if they were, you know, landscaping rocks, because there is a pretty big fancy house built right there, but there's no other rocks like that up there. And when I did kind of look up there on his property, most of what he has is not the round expensive rocks. It's just big piles of rock, kind of like this, and it's just for landscaping. So I can't be 100% sure that they were, you know, Native American, but they're definitely out of place and they don't belong here. I'm not really seeing anything around this island but a bunch of this stuff. And like I just showed y'all, you're not going to make any arrowheads or anything out of this. So there was some quartz down on the other side. Down there, some pretty big pieces of quartz, but there's nothing laying around like flakes or anything like that. So I'll look around a little bit more, but I may just, instead of going on around, I may just cut my losses and try and head along the bank over there, because I mean that whole point out there is exposed, and the most I've ever been able to do is kayak along there and just look through the shallow water as I kayak. Could go down there to the public access area, come around that way, but it's odd that there's nobody down there. I wonder if it's closed for some reason. It shouldn't be. I mean, it's not just a swimming area, there's a boat ramp too. But you know, it is a weekday, but I would figure there's still going to be some guys out bass fishing. That point over there looks a little more promising, so we're going to check this out. And I'm not sure what this is here. It looks like a memorial to somebody. Well, it may not be. I thought those were, looks like people just been signing names on here, so I don't know, maybe it is to these people. Candace Williams, maybe she drowned out here. And then yeah, this isn't like people dicking around. These are like messages of love and stuff. So this thing's been here a long time though. I mean, I know at least probably 10 15 years, so since I've been old enough to kayak around here. So yeah, the rocks over here look a little more promising, so I will leave that memorial alone and walk off this way. It'd be nice if you could repaint it so people can see it, but then you're going to paint over everybody's messages, so that would kind of suck. Who knows, maybe they'll put up a new one for her sometime. Anyway, get back to y'all if I find anything. Alright, it's a little bit windy, so I apologize, but I may have shown y'all this before. When we were kids, we used to call these Indian paint rocks. There's different colors. There's red, yellow, and kind of like a greenish yellow. But what you do with them, if I can do this one-handed, let's see if I can do this here. Alright, so there's my pasty white skin. Let me rub this on here. And we used to paint ourselves up. We'd do like face paint and stuff. And if you get them wet, it'll cover you even more. And there's actually possibly some truth to these being Indian paint rocks. That's what my grandpa and dad and all them always told us they were. But what you can do with these is crush them up and then mix it with, you know, fatty oils from a deer or something, and you could actually make paint pigments. So there's probably some truth to that, what they told us, but we used to just get them wet and then paint, war paint all over us and run around playing cowboys and Indians and everything. But I may have shared that with y'all before one time when I was down here. I don't remember, but so if I did, it's a repeat. I'm sorry, but anyway, back to looking. All right, I apologize for the glare, But we were over there on that island, walking around there. So now we're over at a public swimming area and a boat dock. And I'm just gonna kind of walk up in here and see what's around. If there's nothing on this side, we'll head around the other side. A lot of this just looks like pea gravel right here. So we'll get off of this stuff and get more back to the natural stuff. Maybe we can go around that side. There's a good point around there that's covered in rock. Somebody's little goggles. I'm sure if I came out here with a metal detector, there's no telling what all kinds of rings and crap I'd find out here. Because people love to go swimming with rings and watches and phones and all kinds of stupid crap. There's no telling what you can find. But anyway, I'm not sure. I'm thinking most of this little pea gravel was kind of brought in to make a nice swimming area, because most of the lake is jagged rock everywhere, and you're not gonna have a lot of people coming to swim and all that if it's super uncomfortable. So I'm gonna try and make my way across here, but judging by the shoe over there and those ruts, this might be too wet. I may not be able to do it. Let's see. Oh yeah, that is soft. Oh, yeah. I don't think the sun ever shines over here. Well, I may have to go around the other side. This ain't looking too promising. I really don't want to lose my boots. Yeah. Oh man, that is soft. Alright, well, that's a bummer because there's a really nice point around there. See all this, where all the leaves are? All that shady, there's nothing but mud under that because this is full of water usually. And the sun obviously stays over there behind the trees. So I don't even think I can get over there. I'd have to walk quite a ways up through the woods, and even then it's still going to be super muddy. But that's okay. We'll come around here and we'll look around this other side. All right, I'm back out on the lake with my dad. He's way down there, and found another piece of a round possible hammerstone. Again, there's not hardly any of these out here. Only found a few of them, but it's broken. And then this piece definitely is a flake. It's got some broken pieces. I think this is a piece of rhyolite. Now it's sitting right here, so I'm going to look around here. I was talking to him, and he said most of the stuff he's ever found out here, him or his brothers, has been off of this point over here, which is where I found that Guilford. So I'm going to check over here real good. Alright, we'll be back if we find something. Well, it took 3 days, but we think we might have found a piece of one. It's pretty rough, pretty fat, not very thin like a lot of these crude prehistoric quartz ones are, but we stumbled onto a little bit of quartz. We're going to keep looking around. Oh god, I about fell. Here's another little flake. There's a lot of flakes out here in little chunks. But that's definitely got some flakes taken off of it. It's just very crude, been tumbled around these rocks. So we'll keep looking.
The lake was full up to the edge there. It'd be a good fishing spot.
Yeah. Here's one for all you geology nerds. This is the lava flow from the ancient volcanoes. Pretty cool. It's basically why most of the rocks around here are just compressed mud. It's old lava flow. Anyway, we're gonna try and get around to that side, which is where I tried to go yesterday. We'll see if we can manage it, but there's a creek back in there I forgot about, and it may be way too wet. Need to get you some little grippers. Just reach down and pluck it up.
I didn't know it was still hooked to the line.
Yeah, it's probably one of mine again.
The hook's broken off of it.
I'm sure you were talking about that being a good fishing spot. I've come over here with my kayak before, and I'm sure I've lost a few over here. It's a nice gnarly piece of tree driftwood over there. I'm sure that's caught a few of them. Getting into a little bit more different material over here. Well, I didn't film it, but let's see. I don't think I did. See if I can reach it in my bag. Well, I don't think I can find it in my bag, but anyway, I found some rhyolite that's broken, so we'll look at that when we get finished with the video. But hopefully these little creek areas will, maybe we'll find something good over here. Usually I can just come over here in my kayak and get out when it's shallow enough and walk around, but haven't had any luck yet that way. Alright, I'm going to try and do a real quick wrap up of the stuff found over the last 3 days. So anyway, this pile is from the first day. Me and my daughter went down there, and then this stuff was today with my dad. This was the third day. The second day, I didn't really find anything. I was down there by myself all day, and it had just rained, so I was basically just trying to maneuver through all the mud. But excuse me. So let's get into it. Found these two pretty close to each other, and there's actually a third one out there that's almost this size. Me and my dad found it today, but we just left it out there. But they were all in the same area, and I'm not sure what they would have been used for. But again, these kind of rocks are not natural out there. These came out of a creek or a river and were brought to the area that is now flooded for the lake. So they made the lake in 1929. So somewhere these rocks, all of these really, were brought in from creeks or rivers, streams and stuff around that area. And then 1929 they dammed it up and dammed the river up and flooded the valleys. So but this stuff stands out like a sore thumb on the banks, so that's why I gravitate towards that. But I'm not sure what these were used for. There doesn't seem to be any damage on either one of these, so maybe they were lining a fire pit or something. I'm not sure what they would have used them for. A lot of times you could use a big rock like this to put like another rock on it and then hit that rock and crack that rock and use, make a tool out of it. That's called something. I can't, I'm drawing a blank. It's late at night. I can't remember what it's called, but that's a way to fracture another rock, but I would think there would be damage on this one. So I'm not sure what that was used for. This one would make a really nice hammerstone, but there doesn't appear to be any massive damage on it other than just tumbling around in the lake. I mean, all this damage on it is pretty sharp and jagged. That could be a freeze fracture right there. So again, I don't know what that one was used for either, but again, it doesn't belong where we found it. Like these came out of a creek or something. This one is most definitely a hammerstone. It has the exact same damage that we find on all the rocks down in South Carolina, where we've been finding points and stuff. So it's just that constant pecking, smashing nuts and other rocks and stuff. Excuse me. And it ends up making very smooth damage to the rock in generally one particular area. And here's a comparison. This is one of them from down in South Carolina. You can see that whole edge is beat down, probably from using this as a chopper. It probably used to look like that, but now it's beat down and that's all smooth. That's from over a long period of time being used. So that's what you're looking for to tell you that it's a hammerstone. If it's something fresh like this, if you got this out of a field, I'd say a plow or something did that, but this was in a lake by water. It's probably freeze fracture. This we think is petrified wood. Could be, I don't know. Looks like wood. Looks a lot like other pieces of petrified wood I found. So, I don't know. What do y'all think? That's what I'm going for. Let's see. Day 2, like I say, I didn't find anything. Day 3, again, another hammerstone. Same kind of damage all on one side. And the other side's, there's a little bit here. You can see there's a few little pecks on that side. But it's mainly all on this side. This is all smooth. Same thing. Another river rock, but it's freeze fractured. This is all jagged, so this is newer break. This one's probably also a hammerstone. Same thing. It's almost all on one side of the rock, and it's all smooth. A little pecking damage. This, I believe, is a possibly basalt, whereas these other ones are like a granite type or a quartzite. I think this is basalt. Now, I'm no geologist, but that's what I think that is. But again, that shouldn't be that. It came out of a creek or something. And this thing looks really cool. Looks like it could be used as a chopper or something, but there's not really any major damage on it. That could be natural right there. That's kind of jagged. That's a little newer. But yeah, there's nothing that really tells me this was used as a tool, but it was, again, it's really out of place. These kind of rocks aren't just laying out there. This came out of a stream or something. These are some pieces of rhyolite, which they would have traded for, and this would have made some really good points. And you can see where that's been worked, where they were driving flakes off of it, making a point or some type of a cutting tool. And this is the debris. This is the debitage, as they call it. So that's actually indicates flint knapping was going on. And then this is the only piece of a point we found. Very crude quartz point or blade, and of course it's broken in half. So it probably would have been about a 3, maybe 4-inch little quartz blade. It's been tumbling around in the surf, so it's pretty crude looking, but if you get really close and look at it, there's some indications of pressure flaking on the edge. But like I say, it's worn down pretty good. The rhyolite point I found about 8 years ago or so, it's pretty worn too. But the rhyolite point I found before was found in the same spot where this stuff was found, so that's kind of cool. I'm gonna have to keep looking there every time the water gets low. And then this is just a nice piece of quartz I found that I thought looked cool because it's got different types of things going on. You got nice straight grain quartz crystals, and then all this ugly popcorny crap. Nice big vein of stuff running through it. I don't know, just kind of looked interesting. I say I'm no geologist, but I find this stuff pretty interesting. So anyway, that's what we got. So I don't know, what do y'all think about that? So that's 3 definite hammerstones. Some other things that, like these, I don't know what. I mean, that's a big rock to carry to where it was found, and there's some other ones out there. So I don't know, but if you want to see something cool, okay, down in South Carolina where we find all that stuff, you know, that site is about a half mile from the river where they're getting all the stones. So I went down there, and the water was low down there a while back, and I found a bunch of these kind of rocks in the river. So I know about where they're getting them and bringing them up. So I brought some of these home and actually ran one of them through the tumbler. So that's what it looks like. It goes from that to that. And that's just one, this is just one round in the tumbler. This isn't like finished. But that's pretty cool. So, but this, I mean, that's a good heavy duty rock. I mean, it's got some weight, so you can see why they want to use these for their tools. But anyway, yeah, this came from the South Carolina site. I mean, it's not an actual hammerstone. This just came out of the river, but that's the same spot where they would have been getting them to carry them up the half-mile journey back up to where we're finding everything. So, and there's a ton of them down there too. So they had an endless supply. But anyway, same thing happened here. All these were pulled out of probably the Yadkin or some of the surrounding creeks, and then in 1929 they flooded the valleys, and all this stuff got covered up with water, and here we are in 2021 finding it. So anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed that video, and I hope it's not too long and boring, since we didn't really find any cool points or anything, but we still found tools. We know they were there, and we can go back and maybe we'll be able to find some more stuff. We did find a lot of quartz pieces, flakes and stuff, so there should be some other stuff out there. Might find some more quartz parts, but it's just about when the water's low, and that the new hydroelectric company that owns that lake, they don't lower the lake very often anymore, so it's maybe a once in a lifetime thing. I may not get to do it again. So, but anyway, hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.